This question was asking you to explain how using counterbalancing might improve the design of the study. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, this is a repeated measures design. Now, a problem with repeated measures design is that participants are taking part in all conditions of the IV. So in this particular scenario, you've got the different sounding words condition and you've got the similar sounding words condition, and participants are doing both of those conditions. Now, what you would likely expect is order effects, because when they get to that second condition, they're either going to have practice and do significantly better, and so therefore that'd be an invalid result because they might do better on the similar sounding words than they would normally. However, so actually what these results are showing, it might be significantly worse on similar sounding, but because they've had those practice, it's improved the performance. Or they might get bored or tired, so boredom or fatigue effect, because fatigue is the fancier term, and that means that their performance on that second condition is going to be worse, not necessarily because of the coding of the short-term memory and it being acoustic, but just because they can't be bothered. So they're just naturally not going to do as well, they're not going to remember as many words. So it will invalidate, or what we actually say, obscure the effect of the IV, if you want to be fancy. So in this answer, you need to explain how counterbalancing might be used to prevent the problem of order effects, essentially. So you need some kind of explanation of what counterbalancing is, and also the fact that it gets rid of order effects. So let's have a see what we could put. So let's see, counterbalancing might improve the design of the study, as with our repeated measures design likely to be order effects by the second condition. In context, really good technique, that is the brackets, just bob it in so it's there, and then you could just carry on how you would normally do your sentence. By the second condition, actually, I might just change that. Let me get rid of that. Repeat measures down is likely to be order effects by the second condition as participants complete both conditions of the IV, and therefore performance improves I can spell boredom. Boredom and fatigue. And obscures the effect can that improve the design of the study as half the participants complete the first condition and the second condition. Half the way around. This ensures that order effects controlled as let me think about this one. This is difficult to explain it. It's a bit harsh, really, that it's 2 marks because you have to say quite a lot in it. It's likely to be order effects by the second condition as participants complete both conditions at the end, therefore it either improves or declines due to repetition of conditions skills the effect of the IV. Counterbalancing might improve the design as half the participants complete the first condition and then the second condition and the other half complete the other way. This ensures that order effects are controlled as they will impact only. Essentially what I'm trying to say is if you do have order effects and they are going to have an impact in that second condition, then if half of your participants have a different second condition, they'll only be impacted in that second condition. So let's give an example, right? So group A, the first ones that do different and then similar, they're going to have order effects in the similar sounding words group, right? So that one's going to be affected. But for group B, they're going to do it the other way around. So their order effects are going to have an impact in the different sounding words condition because they do that one second, which means that half of the participants are affected in the different sounding group and half of them are affected in the similar sounding group, which means that they'll balance out. So it won't make a difference because any change in one, there's also a change in the other group, which balances it. So you cannot say that counterbalancing removes order effects. It doesn't. The order effects are still there. They're just impacting the conditions equally so that they're affecting them both so that they balance out. Maybe I should put that actually. Oh. Can you see how I'm really having to think about how to word this? This is a difficult question to do in time conditions. You need to prep this question before you go into an exam situation because it's so difficult to do. And actually, I'm probably hashing it a little bit because I have seen students answer this question in in more brief ways and they've got all the marks. So I'm probably overhamming it a bit. But if you could do it more concisely, then please do. But it's because I'm under pressure and I'm doing this video. So let me just see if I can add it in. So come on, improve the design. The other way. This is just order effects are controlled as they will impact I'm just going to add that in because I feel like I'm not being very clear in what I'm trying to say, so I've added it in. So the overall answer is with a repeat measure design, there's likely to be order effects by the second condition as participants complete both conditions of the IV and therefore performance either improves or declines due to the repetition of the conditions and obscures the effect of the IV. You probably don't actually have to go into detail about the practice, boredom and fatigue. You can literally just say order effects and it would be fine. It would get you enough marks. But this is kind of like an answer if it was requiring more marks than 2. But that whole thing there will get you 1 mark. Then counterbalancing might improve the design of the study as half the participants complete the first condition and then the second condition and the other half complete it the other way around. This ensures that order effects are controlled as they will impact both conditions, a different second condition for each group equally so they are balanced out. So that's essentially what you would do to get all of the marks. It's really important that in your answer you kind of define what counterbalancing is very briefly. You could do the whole A and B thing that we learned about if you want, but you can write it like this also, and that you also mention about the order effects and what impact that has, so you're not obscuring the effect of the IV. You could also mention validity if you like as well. It's just a different way of saying this.